Hey guys, hope you're all doing well out there. So I'm back with another 5-minute-ish lick lesson. Now before I break down the lick for you, please, if you do like what I do, hit the subscribe button below. Please ring that bell, give the video a thumbs up and write a comment. Please feel free to interact. If you have any questions or queries, please say so below. I'm also going to be popping my email into the description box. Excuse me. I'll be popping my email in the description. If you would like some lessons, I'm now taking on some new online students, so please feel free to get in touch. So this lick, I am thinking, even though it was over a drum beat, I'm thinking this is over an E flat major 7, major 13 kind of idea, but you can also play it in the key of C minor. It's the same key, but the chord I'm thinking of is E flat major. So let me just put on a bit of a less gain patch on, and I will show you what the lick sounds like in slow or at a slower tempo. Okay, now these licks, guys, are designed for you to play at any tempo really you're comfortable with. This is at 140 BPM, okay, so it's pretty nippy, but please feel free to lower it, play at your own pace, because like I say, these will sound good, slower tempo as well. So the lick starts on the 5th fret on the A string, okay? So if I'm thinking I'm looking over the E flat, the 5th fret on the A string would be my major 7, okay? So I'm gonna be talking intervals here, and I'm going to be doing so against the E flat. But I also will give you the fret numbers just to help you, learn it quicker. So we have the 5th fret on the A string, and I hit this with my middle finger. I then hammer on to the 6th fret on the A string, which would be my root. Back to that major 7, which is the 5th fret on the A, then pull off to the 3rd fret on the A string, okay, which would be my 6th. Okay, so that's the opening lick. Then I hammer back on, so going from the 6th back up to the major 7, landing on the root. Okay, so this is my middle finger, 3rd finger, back to the middle, 1st. So that's 3 note per string. I then hit 1 note on the D string, which would be my 5th fret, and that is with my middle finger, so this would be your major 3rd. I then hybrid pick, so my middle finger I'm hybrid picking on the G string on the 3rd fret, okay, and then I hit 3, hammer to 5, hammer to 6, hammer to 7, so interval wise this would be my 5th, my 6th, this is kind of a chromatic note, okay, here, so it's the flat 7, and then ending up on the major 7. To get that chunk first, I would, because that is a tough section to get tight and clean. This is something I do a lot of. If I'm playing 3 notes on one string, I will then maybe hit 1 note on the next string, and then I end up with a hybrid pick on the next string with another 3 or 4 notes. So if I play 3 notes on one string, then the 1 on the next, I pick the first 2 strings, and I would hybrid pick the 3rd string. I'll go into this in more detail on another lesson, but I just thought I'd give you a heads up and a few little insights to how I'm thinking here. Okay, as I've landed on that 7th fret, you notice my 1st finger is kind of coming in whilst it's still on that note. I'm not jumping here, I'm not going, because this is my next note, which is going to be my 6th fret on the B string, okay, my 9th. So I'm already thinking about that next note as I'm still landing on this note. Something to think about, okay? If you want fluid legato, I've kind of got this like open hand, closed hand, open hand, closed hand thing going on. Okay, now as I hit that 6th fret, I'm picking that with the pick. I hammer onto the 8th fret on the B string with my 3rd finger, pull back off to the 6th fret, then hammer back onto the 8th, but this time with the middle finger, and then hammer to the 9th fret on the B string with my 3rd finger. So it's okay, so we have, after this, by the way, intervals wise, this would be my 2nd, my 9th, third, and then my fourth. So it'd have 9, 3, 9, 3, 4. I then come to the high E string and land on the 6th fret on the high E string, and then hammer onto the 10th fret on the high E. So this would be my 5th to the major 7. Okay. As I do that, yeah, I was just checking if that was the root or the major 7, but it is the major 7. I then slide to the 13th fret. Okay, so this would be my 2nd, and then I pull back off to that major 7. So that's, in terms of frets, 6, 10, slide to 13, pull off back to 10, this time with my first finger. So I then go to the 11th fret with my middle finger on the B. So this would be the 5th. I then hit the 12th fret with my little finger on the G, which would end up being my 3rd of E flat, okay, the major 3rd. So it's... I then pull off back to the root, which would be my E flat note on the G string. So it's high E string, I have 13, 10, B string, 11, G string, 12, pull off back to the 8th fret. I'm then descending again to the D string with my 3rd finger. So this would be landing on my 6th or my 13th with my 3rd finger, and then with my middle finger, I hit the 10th fret on the A string. So it's... The reason I'm using my little finger here, sorry, is because it's easier to pull off, then I've got that room, and then I can bring in my 3rd finger, then my middle finger. I then land on my, which would be the 2nd, which is the 8th fret on the A string, and then I slide to the root. So I'm back on that 6th fret then on that A string. So let me just break it down up to there. Okay, I'm then coming up and I descend, so I'm coming from the E flat, okay, then I'm hammer on to my F, which would be my 2nd, and then coming to the major 3rd, okay, so it's 1st finger, 3rd finger, slide. I then, I'm going to string skip this D string and then land on the root on the G string with my 1st finger, so this would be the 8th fret on the G string. So you have this sound, which you've heard that kind of thing before. Okay, but it's not that. But it's a typical thing, playing major 3rd to the root, very bluesy thing. Okay, so I'm doing that. And then I slide to the major 7 on that G string. So it's... So from this descending run. So that's all one movement here, guys. Okay, so even that in itself, you isolate that part, it's quite cool. And like I say, this would be playing, you can play this over E flat major, or if you just have a C minor chord. It's going to sound really nice. So, yeah. After that, so I've landed on the 7th fret on the G string here, the 1st finger. I then pick and landed on the middle finger on the D string on the 8th fret. So it's... Sorry. Late one, guys. Had a late gig last night, so my brain is still trying to work out. Pick, and then I hybrid pick here with my middle finger on the 8th fret B string. So this be landing on my 3rd again. So it's... All together so far. Okay, now as I hybrid pick, I'm letting that kind of ring out that 6th kind of sound, like kind of bluesy, I guess. In the context of what I'm playing over, it's not really that bluesy, but it's got that kind of sound, okay? I then pick that 8th fret on the D string again, so that's on my 5th, okay? Against the E flat, it's the 5th. And then I slide up to the 13th fret, which would be my root on that D string. And then I'm hybrid picking here again, so you can keep that finger position there, okay? So then I'm hybrid picking the 6th again. I talked about the major 13, and it's highlighting that 6th within that kind of arpeggio. And then it's just as I've hybrid picked that last note, I slide up to 15 on the B string and then bend, okay, which is bent up to the root of E flat. So that's why I'm thinking against E flat. That's the lick, guys. Again, let me just play it at medium tempo in full. That's it. Remember to subscribe by hitting the button below. Please feel free to leave a comment, like the video, and yeah, I'll see you at the next one with another lick, probably again tomorrow. So have a good day, guys. Let me know how you do. If you have any questions, please post below. Take care, and I'll see you again.